Alright, it's time to get started with this guy. It's molded in color. I might do a little weathering on him, and panel lining, but that's probably about it. I'm not going to get it to look like this box art. Box art doesn't even look like the anime. Box art is really cool, though. Sorry for the yawn. It's been a long day. The only tools I'm going to need, I won't need glue, are in this little box here. 2 different sprue cutters, my X-Acto knife, 2 sanding sticks, and a pair of tweezers. A pair of tweezers are mainly for the foil stickers. If I do the cutting with the 2 sprue cutters correctly, I won't need these 3. So you don't need a lot of tools to build one of these Bandai 8 high-grade kits or master grade kits. Master grade kits, you probably can get away with just those 2. Now, they actually came in this kit with tweezers. I forgot what else was in there. It was $16 at my Barnes & Noble, and I have the 10% off, so I didn't pay $16 for it. These, however, came from Japan. They were not $16, and there's a very good reason why those were not $16. I'll show you why in a few minutes once I get some parts cut out and show you what I have learned from the Bandai kits and why Gundam people have little bits of plastic everywhere when they're working. So let me get it out. Let's take a look inside the box. I didn't really do an out-of-box review on this thing. We have 1, 2, 3. It looks like there's 3 sprue in there. No, 2. We have 3 sprue, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 2 are identical. 10, 11 if you count the base. 12, 13. We have 13 sprue. Okay? That silver is kind of okay. I might do a little bit different with it. But for the most part, most of the coloring on this is fine. Okay? I have a Chogokin Great Mazinger. And when this guy's built, I'll pull that out so we can see the difference. Chogokin is a collectible, for some of you that don't know. I think Chogokin means metal. It was from Mazinger. And then Bandai did a line of all these great robots in metal and called it Chogokin line, and there's a lot of it. Okay, so let's pull the directions. They're in color. Okay. Probably very similar to most builds. First sheet right there showing a sprue map. Bandai usually gives sprue maps. Then they start talking about how to cut out parts. You use tweezers for adding small parts. You trim them with the sprue. Now this kit, this box does have some English on it. Whoa, we don't need that kit cord there. That cord is for charging the camera, so I don't have to remove it. All parts are numbered, follow the directions. Tool separate parts from sprues. Tool to separate parts from sprues, nippers. Tools for small parts. Then down here, cut parts with nippers with some margin. Cut margin of the blade with nippers for a clean finish. In other words, you cut the part off the sprue and then you trim the sprue from the part. Okay? And then you also got to be careful when you're removing sprue because it's real easy to cut part of the part when you remove it from the sprue. I've done that a few times. In other words, these Band-Aid kits, they have movement to them. And if you cut them incorrectly, you'll cut off the movement pins. For example, I'm going to do a zoom on here. I'm going to move this a little bit. Right here. If you're not careful, you'll cut that pin off the end of that, and then it won't plug into the head correctly. And that will cause issues. So, be careful when you're cutting things. Now, like a lot of Bandai kits, you start with the head. It doesn't look like the head is very much. This is a high-grade kit, so there isn't going to be really a complex build to it. There should not be an inner frame, that sort of thing. The master-grade Gundam kits have inner frames. Okay? Oh, I'm still zoomed. I'm bad at that one, aren't I? Staying on camera frame. I know. Okay, so we get the head first. Then we come over here to the body. We do the arms. Again, there is no inner frame. And then we come over here and we do the legs. They like to do the head, arms, legs, then the torso, the chest, and then the lower torso. And then you start assembling him, okay? And then the display space, the scramble dash, okay? And it looks like it's got a good display base with it, so you can move it around and pose it pretty good. Looks like it's one of their standard display bases. And it's warning you to be careful here. This is nice that they're both in English and Japanese, okay? And then it shows you the many different ways you can pose him. A lot of the clear parts go with the action base. He comes with more than one hand, like a lot of Gundam kits do. He does come with the sword, like Gundam kits do, and it looks like he comes with two of them, but I didn't see two. It says completed product image has been painted. So they're telling you that they did paint this guy. So this is painted. All right, now I might paint it, I might not. I'm going to assemble it first. That is one thing. As you're assembling it, you might decide to paint it. I was not intending to paint this one. We'll see what it looks like unpainted. These parts look like they have a pretty nice finish to them. So they may not need to be painted. All right, it may not need to be painted. So let me get building. The only thing I'm worried about here is, again, the silver parts. They look fairly decent. So I may not have to paint it, okay? And it just might need a panel lining or two, a little bit of grease and dirt. And it does come with two swords. I found the second sword. Two swords are right here. All right, so let me get started. I will be back and let you know how things are going.